AC and electric is what we do. Service, repairs, and installation too. 222-7722. Parker Services. Comfort's just a call away.
Is your home ready for anything? At Parker Services AC and Electrical, we do more than just keep you cool. We keep your whole home running smoothly. From AC maintenance and duct cleanings to whole home generator installations, we've got everything you need for comfort and reliability. Join our Peak Performance membership to keep your HVAC system in top shape and catch issues before they turn into costly repairs. And with a reliable generator, you'll never be left in the dark again. Call Parker Services today, where comfort is just a call away.
Parker Services. Comfort's just a call away.
Florida license number CMC 050334 and EC 1301240.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
It's time for Seminole Headlines, featuring Warchant.com's Jeff Cameron, managing editor Ira Schofel, and senior writer Corey Clark. Your weekly dose of all things FSU, pistols, and pies starts right now. Here's Jeff Cameron.
The Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio Warchant TV begins right now. That's Ira. There's Corey. Hello, boys. How the hell are you?
What up?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What up?
Everybody's feeling good today.
A lot better mood than we could have been in.
Man, national champs.
Yep.
Whoa! We're all Hoosiers today, baby. What
So
a night.
there was no tinge of ACC pride
Oh,
coming
God.
there, or the state of Florida pride.
You were trying to tell us last week that it would be cool.
No,
if
I think
Miami
it's
was
cool that
back,
Miami was in the
whatever.
game. I do think that,
Not
and I'm
me.
really happy they lost.
Man.
And also, I know you haven't done yay sausage
I'm
yet,
about to.
so do it now. Then
No,
I gotta.
no, go ahead, get it out.
No,
You
this
couldn't
about
wait.
sausage.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
In that case, yay, sausage.
Can't have a Hoosiers promo code.
Ooh.
Ben can't do a Hoosiers promo code
I need to check. I need
or
to look.
SIGs.
Mm.
I mean,
Sigs would be good.
that was the biggest win Florida State football's had in at least 2.5 years.
It was.
Big win.
It
Big
was
win.
a huge win.
The Alabama win was
Yeah.
big.
The
at the
Alabama was
time.
win. In
At the time.
hindsight, not so big, but it felt big at the time.
Felt great at the time. We did get to enjoy that for a day.
Yeah.
Dude,
Me
I can't remember the last time I was that excited watching a college football game.
Well,
I was jumping off the couch. I was doing the stuff you do when you're superstitious, like
turning the channel and
or
coming back.
like moving my position on the couch based on, oh, wait, I need to go back where I was before. It was incredible. And a friend of mine texted me during the game. Well, a friend of ours texted me during the game and saying that, he's like, I don't know. Do I really like Indiana? And I'm like, yes, man.
you
yes,
do.
tonight-
You absolutely
tonight you do. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's
Also,
fine.
it's an awesome story.
Yep.
There's nothing that I don't care that they beat us over the head with it and that it'll be old in 2 years. And it's an awesome story. That's crazy. That is a crazy story.
And how about Mendoza, man? Like that play is unbelievable.
It's a good thing he makes that play because he didn't play well.
No, but that play was unbelievable.
Good call. To call a quarterback run in that situation is just,
Well,
I mean,
and did you watch the interviews at all afterwards?
I
Yeah.
did,
So
yeah.
the Miami guys were like, yeah, we knew that was coming, but Cignetti was like, yeah, we run that sometimes in that situation, but we blocked it differently. And it's like, oh, okay, man, this is some good coaching going on.
Yeah,
I think.
isn't that something?
by the way, so they block a punt, of which they did 7 times this year. Can we give $5 million to whoever is running their special teams?
And it wasn't even like a all-out pump block.
No,
They was 4th and 1. They were in a punt safe.
87 should be like.
Yes, that was a rough one.
Embarrassing.
That's tough right there, man. Your family's watching.
He
You
gave-
got to try a little bit.
Yeah, he gave the effort you give on like you playing FAU and you're up by
40,
30.
yeah. That was sort of a strange thing since the previous punt was nearly blocked. I'm like, guys, they're getting closer, and they kind of do this.
Also, the
Like,
punter
a lot.
rolls out right into him.
I mean, they
Back in
was-
the day, a punter would catch the ball, step and punt it. Reggie Roby wasn't rolling out one way or the other. He just
Ray
steps and
Guy
punt.
wasn't running around all the way
Ron
back
Stark
there.
would catch the ball and punt it.
Yeah. Well, hey, at the end of the day, just because we all had the fear of 28-27 wash over us after the false start, goodness gracious. And then that happens, and I'm like, oh, we need Carson Beck to revert back to being Carson
And then
Beck.
he hit that 3rd and 15, and you're like, what is this?
Well, running around like an a-hole. That was crazy. Yeah, I mean, that hurt. That hurt.
Register sausage, though, guys. Let's go back to it real quick.
Okay, just
promo code
No,
J Indiana.
Suck It Miami is the promo code.
We're not aware of any promo code right now, but go to follow Register Sausage on social media, and maybe if there's a promo code, it'll show up there. But you don't need a promo code to enjoy the greatness that is Register Sausage. Go to your local grocery store if you're in the Southeast, ever expanding footprint. They've got all the different varieties, the andouille, the cheddar, jalapeno cheddar, the short links, the breakfast, all the different varieties, or go to registermeats.com. That's the website. Even without a promo code, go there. They've got different, all the different options. You can buy the 5-pound pack, the sampler, all the different varieties. Go to registermeats.com.
In honor of America's team.
Yes.
Indiana
the
Hoosiers.
Heartland.
Sigs would want you.
Sigs would want you to go get some Register sausage.
Dude, and I love the Mendoza story, the fact that Miami didn't recruit him. So was that Mario or was that Manny that didn't even take him as a walk-on?
I would think that was Manny.
Because originally I thought it was Mario,
4
but
years.
they're saying it was a former staff.
Yeah, former staff. Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Man, it's the story's cool, and I loved it.
It'll be old next September.
Well,
we'll get tired
this is
of it.
what
It'll
this
be
is
like
what,
that. We were all fans of the Patriots when they upset the Rams in that Super Bowl.
Sure.
We were all excited. We had no idea what was wrought upon us when Tom Brady won that game.
There's no avoiding it. Like this, you want to be that hated.
Yeah.
Because of your success. So like,
yeah, it's coming.
I have a friend who got so mad, like the Lightning won the Stanley Cup and then won it again. And right before that, the Bucks had won the Super Bowl. And my buddy's like, all right, man, about done with Tampa here.
Yeah.
We can call it a day here with all your Tampa,
You went from, I don't know how you felt about the Red Sox the first time they won. You went to hating them very quickly. But even the first time when they finally broke through.
100%. 100%, because all I heard about was their stupid curse and how we're supposed to feel bad for Boston sports fans.
So did you hate the Cubs too?
It was a curse.
Right, but they also had the effing Celtics.
Yeah.
Who dominated my basketball team for 20 years.
Same logic. Did you hate the Cubs? Because the Chicago Bulls won every effing NBA title of your childhood.
No.
Good point.
Yeah.
I didn't.
No, you're not consistent. I know.
Yeah, it's true. But but also we weren't beaten over the head by the Northeast media of ESPN telling us about the Boston Red Sox over and over and over.
We were beat over the head about the Cubs curse.
But not many people
you knew
know
about the Billy Goat. You knew about all
not
of
like
it,
they
buddy.
do the Bambino. The Bambino and the Billy Goat are different levels.
Not on Boston. They're not the ones.
Hey, I didn't know I was talking to a Red Sox fan. I thought I was talking to a Pirates fan.
This is what you do, man. This is why there's no like that Indiana story 3 years from now. If they're still good, we're gonna be like, all right, look, this guy's an a-hole. I'm tired
of this. Somebody needs to take them out.
Find out what this guy's doing.
They're cheating. They have to be cheating.
It's anybody that gets good, and then obviously we live in a 24-hour-a-day news cycle now in a way that we didn't in the 70s and 80s, and so like you're gonna hear it constantly and you're going to get tired of it. But for now, we can celebrate the hell out of that.
I'm good with it.
Cool.
I was legitimately rooting for the Yankees in that playoff series against the Red Sox when they came back from 3-0. I was upset.
So did they beat Alabama, Oregon, Miami? And
Well, they beat Ohio State
in the regular season.
They beat Ohio State.
I mean, those are the 4 teams I probably would have picked. Like if I had to pick 4 teams to put money on at the beginning of the year, they might have been the 4.
Except for Miami. You wouldn't have put Miami.
I don't know, man. They were going to be. We
knew they were good. I thought they would win the ACC, but
they still haven't done that.
They still haven't done that. But when you lose at home to Louisville and then you lose to SMU, you're like, oh, okay, that's the end of that. Yeah, they were built to win that line of scrimmage. Actually, Indiana oddly ended up having to beat. Like if you took 5 teams and said, all right, well, which is the team that don't want to play because the matchup's wrong? I think that Miami team's a bad matchup because they can bully you and and their defense. And
they sacked them 5 or 6 times.
I mean, they dominated their line.
But Indiana stoned them on those 3rd and shorts. Stone them.
Yeah. And they run stunts and they bring the safety up.
Yeah.
This is where Carson Beck not being elite really hurt them because I think Indiana said in these 3rd down situations, I'd rather Carson have to make a throw. You're not going to make that
trusting
throw.
them. And we don't believe you could do it.
We have to stop the run.
Yeah.
Fletcher still ended up having a good game. That second half, Miami got it rolling. They had over 260 yards in the second half.
Yeah.
That 4th quarter breezed past the over in terms of total. That was crazy. But
what was the total?
Oh, I don't know what the game total was at game time.
Oh,
I know. I'm talking about
total.
second half total because of the fourth quarter went nuts. But yeah, we ended up getting a great game and the right team won, guys. I think we all agree. There's just the right team won, and we got a great game.
It's crazy. But what I like is that I was so fed up with the narrative last year when they lost to Notre Dame, Indiana. See, they don't belong.
Yeah.
They don't belong. They didn't belong here. They didn't beat anybody. The only good team they played, they lost to. Nobody took into account that they went 11-1, and most of those 11 wins were beatings. Like they beat people by 30 and 40 points, and I'm talking about last year.
Yeah.
And then everybody, because of one game, see, that should have been Alabama's spot. It's like, no, man, they might have just played a bad game. They also played a really good team on the road.
Well, they only lost to two teams, and those teams played for the
national championship.
Yeah, I mean,
but I hope those idiots, starting with Joe Tessitore, who for the whole game, broadcasting college football playoff game, is like, are we sure this is the right team that should be in here instead of broadcasting the game?
Well, dude,
I hope they feel like idiots.
Well,
because I know it's a different team, but there's a lot of the same players on this team that were on that team last year.
But I also think that was all SEC related.
Of course it was.
It wasn't Indiana. It wasn't anti-Indiana. It was just you're not in the SEC.
Right, but then it harkened back to the year before with the Florida State nonsense.
This is awesome, man. 3 years in a row they don't win it. They went 2-8 in bowl games. I mean, you can't just keep the same talking points.
One of their playoff teams lost to Florida State, and I'm not being sarcastic there. Like, got beat kind of handily.
Yeah,
and that was one of the best teams in the conference. So one of the two that played for the conference championship lost to Florida State.
It is fascinating if we just take a look at the entirety of the conference. Like, you look at the Big Ten, that is back-to-back national champions with three different teams. You know, in Michigan, Ohio State, and Indiana, which we would not have guessed. But listen, Iowa was good. Washington was good. Illinois bounced back after they got crushed by Indiana and ended up having a good year. That conference went a little deeper.
Yeah.
Than, and Oregon's good. So
I think USC's decent.
USC was good. So they have emerged now as the preeminent conference. There's no way to say it otherwise, because I promise you, if the SEC had just won back-to-back national championships, that's what would we be hearing? But at the end of the day, I think that, like, if we want to bring it back home to Florida State and have a conversation about what we learned, what can we deduce from what we've just seen here? There's the pie in the sky belief that, hey, listen, you know what? That guy walked in, and in 2 years they won the national championship. So obviously, the right guy at the right time can change your fortunes in the modern era of college football very, very quickly. You can,
Don't you think Cristobal is a better example of what you need in this day and age? What the Miami program is? I mean, Cignetti's one of one. I don't think you're just going to go.
I think it's a good point to make, Corey. I think they did find magic.
I mean, like a flipping leprechaun. It doesn't make sense what that guy did in 2 years. I think Miami putting money into it, getting a good coach that can recruit, that's the more likely way to get Florida State back.
Sustaining anyhow, certainly. I think
they're just holding on to a pipe dream that you might get the next Cignetti, because I don't know that there is a next Cignetti. I literally think he might be one of one, what he just did.
I think the story across the sport right now, and it's emblematic in those two teams, but in other teams also, it really speaks to how inefficient so many programs have been run, including Florida State.
Yeah.
Now with the level playing field in terms of everybody can buy players and players don't have to stay on the bench at their school. Now it really comes down to being efficient, having good management, having good coaches, having good systems, really maximizing everything you do.
Player evaluation, man.
Player evaluation.
You got to have a good idea of how a player fits in what you want to do.
And so that, to me, is the story. So now this is for the SEC. I mean, that's for them too. They've got to figure out how to be more efficient, be better evaluators. And Florida State's in that boat too. Obviously, they've got more room to grow, but that's the story. Like, you're not going to have these just unbelievable roster, this one or two teams with a super roster that just rolls it out there and steamrolls everybody. I just don't think that's
even Indiana. They beat. That's a great going 16-0 is
20-15 against Iowa, because Iowa's built like Miami,
but also barely beat Penn State. Needed a crazy catch in the back of the end zone. Barely beat Miami. Yeah. Like, that was a close game. Like, they didn't just roll through everyone. Sure. And they're awesome. They're one of the best college football teams I've ever seen. Honestly, what they did,
the run is amazing.
Accomplished.
To go 16-0, 16-0
in a real conference, crazy. And then to win a national championship in this day and age is unbelievably hard.
On the one hand, it's very heartening. On the other hand, it's disheartening, because here's what I mean by that. Like, if you took Florida State, where Florida State is now, and I say you got to beat Oregon on the road, which they beat Oregon twice this year, but they beat them once on the road. And people don't go into Oregon and win very often. It's hard to do, right?
Six does.
But so you beat Oregon on the road. You beat Ohio State for the Big Ten championship. You bludgeoned Alabama, them. You beat Miami in Miami. Can you imagine you take Florida State? You go Florida State. You got to play Ohio State at a neutral site. You got to play Oregon on the road. Yeah. You got to play Alabama, which we got you. Come on, Alabama. Yeah. Come get your whooping. That's fine. We can take the Alabama part of it.
You can take the SEC.
And then you're going to have to
beat SEC team.
And then you have to go on the road in Miami and play Miami. Like, I think most Florida State fans listening to that, even the most optimistic of them, realize that those are ass beatings. Like, Florida State's going to lose those games by 30.
But I think the better, yes, right now,
until they get it right.
Yeah, but even when you get it right, we're going to have to. He was right last night. The paradigm has shifted. Like, even if you have an elite program, one of the elites, as a Braves fan, I can attest, it's damn hard to win in the postseason. Yeah. You can have a really good team, and it's going to become harder and harder to win a national championship. To the point where there are people listening to this. Well, I shouldn't use Florida State fans. There might be Michigan fans that never see another national championship.
Well, hell, there were some that lived and died without seeing one most recently until just a few years ago.
So Michigan was awesome 2 years ago, right? Yeah, they won it 2 years ago. They might not ever win another one in our lifetimes. That's how hard it's going to be, even with the big boy programs, to go win national championships.
And there's so many things have to go right. I mean, and again, Indiana and Miami look unbelievable. Great run, unbelievable.
16, even as good as Miami was, they lost twice this year.
Miami lost three times.
The final game, yes.
3 times.
I'm curious. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all if neither of those teams is in the final 8 next year.
No, right.
I mean, Miami.
I can tell you they're losing.
Well, I mean, that defense. I mean, those. You can have money, and you're not going to have that defensive line.
Number 8 is a menace. I don't know where he came from, but holy cow, that guy is a menace. He also should have been kicked out of the game for targeting on the – I can't imagine. Yeah. The quarterback's bloodied. He didn't have the ball. He gets hit. It wasn't even a penalty. It's like, okay, don't kick him out of the game. That's fine. But it's a penalty, and they didn't give him a penalty.
But I don't think they can replicate what they had on that defense. And then Indiana, I mean, again.
Hey, man, don't doubt Cignetti.
I'm not doubting him. I'm just saying that
none of us will ever again.
They also, like, I guess what I push back on is we do this all the time. Like, we oversell what a coach does in a small sample size. And, like, it's okay. Like, let's see the difference between Saban and every other man that's walked the face of the planet is it's much different to do it 2 or 3 times than it is to do it once.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, he's on the mountaintop now. It's as we saw here with Jimbo. It's a lot harder to stay at the mountaintop than it is to get there.
Everything
but
changes.
He seems built differently. We'll see.
Yeah.
What he already accomplished is something we've never seen.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at Miami's roster. I'm looking at every starter. Buddy, to Ira's point, thank God. I mean, they'll still be good. They'll be the odds-on favorite because they've recruited well. But they're odds-on favorite to win the ACC, fine. But here's who they're going to lose. They're going to lose Bain because he's going to declare, and he's going to go top 5 or top 10. All right. They're going to lose Moten. He's he's going to probably declare. He's a redshirt junior. He could. Mesidor, gone. He's a redshirt senior. He's got to go.
He's like a 7th-year senior.
He's been there 1,000
What's number
years.
8? Is it Jacoby Thomas?
He is a redshirt senior, sir.
Okay, get out of here, Jacoby. Don't need it.
He's gone.
Don't need to see you anymore.
So he's gone. You've got your starters across the starting 11 on defense. A junior who's going to declare, a redshirt senior. I mean, that's the other part. Blay is a stud, and he's a redshirt senior. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were old. I mean, everyone talks about how old Indiana was. Miami's old, man. Redshirt senior. I'm giving you the starters. Redshirt senior, redshirt senior, redshirt senior, redshirt senior, senior, redshirt junior, redshirt sophomore. Okay, he can be back. The other corner is a fresh. Well, the one corner is a real stud. Yeah. But they also had a senior at nickel. They lose a lot. Now, they get Lightfoot back, and he's a stud, and he'll add size, and he's already impressive off the edge.
Yeah,
they'll have edge rushers.
Good.
But, man, they lose. And you know what, though? Here's the other part.
They do have Malachi Tony coming back. Hey,
Malachi Tony and Fletcher.
Malachi, you got 4 more days to put your name in the portal.
Running back.
Miami guy. The league, baby boy. What are you doing?
Miami will pay him as much to come back as he would get as like a 3rd-round pick in the league.
Yeah, so Tony's the most electrifying player in college football.
He's Travis Hunter.
He can get in the portal. He's got 4 days to get in the portal.
Yeah, my guess is they'll take care of that one.
I don't know. They got to spend all that money on Mensa.
They got plenty of money.
By the way, so obviously you look Yeah, their offensive line, they're going to lose 3/5 of their offensive line. There's a possibility they lose a fourth who could declare as a redshirt junior. They got some rebuilding to do. I mean, now they've recruited well, but that's
why I think did you watch Mario on the field after the game?
He knew.
That was your shot. I'm not saying they won't win it at some point, but that's the shot.
He had loaded.
Team was,
and he had man. It is going to be. It's so. I think he understands, like we all should, how hard it is just to get to that game. You have to have miracle after miracle. I mean, they could have lost A&M. They should have lost A&M. Kid threw an interception in the end zone. It is so hard. They barely even got in the tournament. It's so hard to get there. When you get there, you've got to take advantage because you don't know when you'll get back again.
The way to view.
Sorry, Miami.
I think you're right. The way to view, and we've talked about this with the expanded playoff before, and then obviously the disbursement of talent. One of the things that I've thought a lot about is how it's hard to train your mind this way, especially when you're as old as we are. You're used to looking at something
as old as
way.
You guys are.
So you're in your 50s, baby.
Barely.
So here's the deal. One of the things I think about is that, like, now I don't go into seasons ever expecting to go undefeated. Well, certainly around this part.
I was going to say, really?
When did that stop?
Wow.
Hey, we went undefeated 3 years ago.
That's very mature of you.
Anyhow, but I don't look at it that way, and I also don't look at it in any way where I think that, hey, listen, this team's loaded. They should win the national championship. Now, it'd be nice for us to get to a point where we can consider it. But what I would do is say that the successful programs who are the ones that we're going to look to every year, like we do Ohio State, is we're going to say, well, they're perennial powers who make the college football playoff.
Ohio State and Georgia.
Let chips fall where they may. When you're like, we got to make the playoff. We got to be certainly in contention to make the playoff annually.
Like, go watch,
if we're operating the way that we ought to operate.
Go watch Kirby and the way he mismanaged that final minute against Ole Miss after the game, that post-game press conference. He's just like, I'm proud of my guys. We're a young team. We came really close, hard-fought game. He knows he's going to be back.
Well, he knows that
smart.
Defense was so young.
Yeah,
but
he also trusts what he's got. Mario, it's a different story. Like, there were a lot of things that came together. They're still going to be good, though. But I think Kirby is very secure that they're going to be a player for a long, long time. And he should be.
Yeah, I mean, they recruit their ass off, and they do have money, so they're going to do it.
And they cheat.
Well, nobody cheats anymore.
I know. You can't cheat. How could you cheat?
Nobody cheats anymore.
What could you do to cheat?
I mean, Miami's doing it with Mensa.
And Ole Miss did it with
that's just called luring people into the portal.
Is
what that is, boys. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV continues in a moment.
2026 is the year you launch your business, the year you transform into an entrepreneur, a founder, your own boss. One powerful move puts your future firmly in your hands, starting a business with Shopify. Maybe you've got an idea you can't shake, a store you've already designed in your head. With Shopify, 2026 is when you finally make it happen. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person. Millions of entrepreneurs, including Seminole Headlines, have already made this leap. From household names to first-time business owners just getting started. Shopify gives you all the tools to easily build your dream store. Choose from hundreds of beautiful templates that you can customize to match your brand. Setup is fast with Shopify's built-in AI tools that write product descriptions and headlines. Marketing is built in too. Create email and social campaigns that reach customers wherever they scroll. As you grow, Shopify grows with you. Handle more orders, expand to new markets, and do it all from the same dashboard. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/warchant. Go to shopify.com/warchant. That's shopify.com/warchant. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side.
Deck. Whether you want to catch a game or start one of your own, the place to be is the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Searching for the best place to host an event for your friends and family? The Golf Club at Summerbrook is more than just a place for a round of golf. It's also one of the best choices for hosting and celebrating the most special days in your life. From rehearsal dinners and baby showers to corporate banquets and kids' birthday parties, you'll receive amazing personal service and attention to every detail when you choose the Golf Club at Summerbrook. Find out how affordable it can be and call us today at 850-894-GOLF. That's 850-894-GOLF.
You probably already know that Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas is your one-stop destination for all pool maintenance needs, offering everything you need paired with easy financing options, making these luxury hot tubs affordable for everyone. And if you have no more, Pinch a Penny will not only remove and haul away your old hot tub, but also offer a trade-in value for a credit towards your new one. So why wait? Visit Pinch a Penny's 12,000 square foot showroom today on Greer Road and discover how effortless and affordable owning a fantastic hot tub can be. Find out more at TallahasseeHotSpring.com. That's TallahasseeHotSpring.com.
Your business doesn't stop, and neither does IOI's. From the trusted owners of Mac & More Systems, IOI's offers 24/7 IT support, cybersecurity monitoring, HIPAA and compliance consulting, cloud data management, phone systems, and full network design and security. For healthcare, finance, legal industries, IOI specializes in keeping sensitive industries protected and connected. Local service, major protection. Visit IOIs.com today and discover why smart businesses trust IOIs.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
You know what's amazing is it's a good thing Miami didn't figure it out until the second half. 71 scrimmage plays for Indiana to Miami's 54. Like, Miami barely had the ball in the first half, and they got out of there at down only 10-0. Could have been 10-3 if Holmes doesn't doink it. But like that, they were this close to getting run down on the third down drop.
Yeah.
Surratt.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, if they go down and score there, we're probably talking about a very, very different game.
And the defensive holding didn't get called on the deep shot down the middle. I mean, there were a few plays where Indiana could have just busted it open. On the flip side, Miami didn't take advantage of some opportunities either. So
yeah, and the second half, Miami really played well. And they started figuring it out.
Getting the pump blocked was ridiculous. So that wasn't a great. I mean, it was a good effort by Indiana, but it wasn't like
it wasn't Herculean.
Yeah, it wasn't something they planned for. It just the opportunity created itself.
Oh, if I wake up today as a Cane, first of all, I got to question myself. But secondly, if I wake up today as a Cane, we lose 27-21. I had a punt block for a touchdown, and we kicked the field goal off the post. I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
You're sitting there going, son of a
And you threw a crazy interception on first down with a minute to go. He
lofted that thing. That was up
when
there
he
for
threw
days.
it, I'm like, oh, he must be wide open.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a streaking touchdown.
Yeah.
I was like, well, no, there's a safety there.
And
he can come off of him.
Corner right.
It's like you're going to throw that into double coverage. Okay, thank you, Carson.
Well, if the corner didn't make the play, I know number one was not. Their safety had a rough night at the office.
What can you do?
So that kid was coming over. He wouldn't have made the play. But man, it's just they do have some nice pieces though. Man, Tony is unbelievable.
Oh, he's a stud, superstar.
Unbelievable.
He's fun to watch play.
Yeah.
Like you notice that Tony's plays all come from within 10. I mean, there was one long play from him, but most of their stuff was underneath because Indiana's like, you're not going to beat us over the top tonight.
I mean, we saw it with Florida State.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's just so elusive, and it's so annoying. I thought that's another area in which Indiana won the game. We talk about a complete team, so they got a big special teams play, they get a big defensive play, and then obviously their star quarterback makes that run. So you have an offensive player make a big play. They tackled Tony, especially through the first three quarters, so well. How many 3rd and 7s,
some
one-on-ones? Yeah. So it's 3rd and 7. You catch it for 4, and I come up, and even if I just impede you for a moment, they swarm. Yeah. This was the stuff that when Tony White came in and he was talking and addressing the players with that video that leaked out about we're going to swarm to the ball. Man, Indiana swarms to the ball. They do these things collectively with the sacrifice in mind that you have to have on defense.
Because they're not loaded with talent.
They're not. They're not loaded with talent. They have talented players who play into the scheme really, really well. I also think one of the things we can draw from this, guys, and coaches have said this for a long time, but I think it's on display here. His OC and his DC have been with him since he was in Division II.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been together this whole time. I mean, so they've got that thing down. But getting kids to run it, it's not just what you know; it's how you can get the kids to
Yeah,
implement what you're doing.
And even just like you were talking earlier about the stunts and twists that they do. Like you have to sacrifice. Sometimes somebody's sacrificing themselves to free that other guy.
It's always,
and you have to be disciplined. And that's that's where you need to get to. And so that from that standpoint, when we go back to Florida State, yeah, man, we all know the talent is not where it needs to be.
Not close.
I do think they've done a nice job. I think if you look at it objectively, I think what they've done, if this recruiting class hits it all, they signed 32 kids. If you hit that class at all and get like the way you did last
year's class was good.
If you hit it at all,
same percentage
with the players you were able to keep and the portal guys you bring in a real quarterback competition, which Corey wrote about yesterday, like there are some things there where you're like, okay, now if you can maximize that talent, that to me is that's the question. Nobody thinks you're going to win a national title.
No.
You're probably not going to make the playoffs, but can you get the most out of what you have? Because if you do, that's not a bad football team.
8 or 9 wins
it's
at
not
least.
It wouldn't be a bad football. The problem is they haven't come close these last 2 years to maximizing the talent they do have.
Yeah, they have failed on multiple levels. They haven't coached the talent they've been able to bring in. They haven't brought in enough talent, and they haven't evaluated what they have and developed it. So there's a lot of levels of failure. This is why when I'm critical of Norvell, and people are like, well, you're always negative. Look, man, he's failing on a lot of levels. I'd like to mitigate some of that. Let's maybe bring in a bunch of talent that we're not getting the most out of, but there's a lot of talent. Maybe there's this, maybe next year you do maximize your ability to beat the teams that you have more talent than. You should never lose to Stanford.
No.
I mean, in a million years. And so it's like he does a lot. That staff, as helmed by Mike Norvell, have failed on a lot of levels. To your point, if you want to spin it positive, and I think you're right, the way you assess the roster, it's not the dregs of the earth. If you maximize the talent and put them in positions to succeed, and you get a modicum of play at quarterback, good God. Yeah, you could win 7-8 games. Sure. Yeah, you should. I mean, it's the ACC. It's not like this is a league of juggernauts. You're going to lose to Miami in all likelihood. You didn't have to lose to Clemson. They weren't any good this year. You didn't have to lose that game, but they did. Of course they did.
It was a road game, Jeff.
Didn't we lose that at home?
No.
Oh, you're right.
I was there. I remember. I'd drive up there for that.
It was nondescript. That's right. It was a road game.
It was one of those nondescript road losses.
But by definition, the road game, we did lose. You're right. But no, just maximize what you have and you'll win 7 or 8.
Yeah, I think the quarterback thing is where it all lands. I know I beat a dead horse with that, but golly, if you could get a good a modicum of decent quarterback play. Somebody who hits
somebody who's open. How about that?
That's nice. But also a guy that can move a little bit, which is nice. And they got 2 guys that can move a little bit, but also maybe a guy that can hit a guy when he's wide open, that it's schemed open and make some plays on 3rd down and make some plays in the red zone.
And doesn't step out of bounds on 3rd.
But all that stuff. I think that that's going to dictate the team. I think this offense with Deuce, with Danzy, with those running backs, I think with Boggs maybe has a chance to be pretty darn good. Has a chance to be pretty darn good if the quarterback can play.
Yeah, 100%. And the good thing is,
and maybe Sperry's awesome.
Well, I mean,
I think if Sperry were awesome, you'd know it.
If you can,
you'd already know it.
But if you can,
maybe,
but he could be good.
That's fair. That's what I'm just saying. Let's dial back.
Yeah.
So,
but real quick, we didn't know Jordan was awesome until he became awesome.
We also think Jordan that was an outlier. Like what happened with Jordan
but
Travis,
I'm saying
we don't normally see.
A lot of people do when they get real game experience can really make leaps.
I'm not saying he can't grow,
but I'm not expecting awesome because I'm just not expecting awesome. Sorry, R.
But what you do have is you're not locked into one guy. Like to me, that's the most important thing is you're not locked into. It's not DJ or nothing. It's not Tommy or nothing. Like one of those guys just be decent.
Yeah, you're not spending gobs of money on your quarterback room. You're not. Right. Like that should be a wide open
and they could be pulled if they're not playing well.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't hesitate. I mean, I'll rotate the hell out of those guys next year. What's the difference? I mean, you don't have time.
But you'd like to see somebody step up, but you at least have that real competition. And again, if Gus is what he says he is, and I think we saw it early last year, we didn't see it as much later in the year. What he professes as an offensive coordinator is, I'm going to find out what guys can do, and I'm going to put them in those positions. As the year went on, I think he kind of got away from that. I think he went more to just plays, not necessarily about players. He's got to get back to what do these guys do and then accentuate their positives. And I think, yeah, man, there's plenty of talent to be good on offense. And I think they've done enough to be decent on defense.
I love the linebacker from Southern Miss.
Oh, man.
I love him. He's a player.
It could be a game changer.
Yeah, he's a player. They haven't had good linebacker play in a long time. He's a player.
Along with the Desir twins, if they get better, I mean, they're already pretty good. If they get better, I mean, that's a nice.
And you brought back Rawls.
And you get something out of win.
Yeah. And you got Rawls and you got Barker. You got some guys that can play.
You don't have Russians. I don't think the kid from A&M's any good.
And I don't maybe I mean, they're not afraid to play true freshmen.
Here's the thing, though,
Hopefully some true freshmen can play on that side of the ball and be good.
Yeah, and I just don't think they're going to – I don't think in that scheme – if you just get somebody that sets the edge at end,
that'd be nice.
Thrilled.
I don't think the 230-pound kid that you brought in from A&M setting the edge.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, and they've got another kid too. We'll see. And then you've got
he could be the next Garrett Miles.
McCray's not bad.
Miles Garrett. Sorry.
McCray's not bad. Lyons isn't terrible. I mean, like, you've got some guys who you can play.
Yeah, no, but still, again, we're saying the roster is not a championship roster. It's not even a conference championship
roster.
It's
a bowl roster for crying out loud, Norvell.
To go to a bowl. Yeah. I think that we're all going to want to study. This, like we talked about, not lamenting and being too terribly upset that we were forced out of practice, that the media couldn't cover practice anymore. I will regret it this year because I wanted to see the quarterback competition. I want to see how they operate it. I want to see who gets what reps and why. I would have liked that. We won't. We'll have to take their word for it, I guess. But the other thing I would want to see, and it will be hard to discern without us being there, but what buttons are being pushed? Are these coaches locked in to getting what we're talking about, extrapolating the very best out of these guys and putting them in positions to succeed? Like, are we, we're not running through the motions here as a staff thinking they're on their way out anyhow. You got guys locked in? Because I'm going to need Gus to give a damn.
I will say this. I think that the actions that you saw in the portal window in retention and in what they did, I was impressed by some of the things I was hearing about how committed people like that were. That there is a focus on that. It's not this is just a death march to when Mike Norvell can be fired. The early indications are positive in that area. And I do think John Garrett and the staff that they build there, I understand from what I was told, they're going to be building that staff. This is not just bringing in John Garrett and Taylor Edwards. They are going to build out that staff and invest money in it. Like, they are trying to prop this up.
You can say it.
Well, they're trying to put this thing in position to succeed because they don't want to write the check next year either.
No, but they have to if they fail next year. They have
we
no
thought
choice.
They would have had to last year.
But I think we know. You're not going to go 4 straight years of sucking ass.
Yeah. So, but my point is that I think that coming from the top, and you see them investing the way they had to invest, and Battle's End played a role too, to keep what they were able to keep. That sends a message, I think, to everybody in the organization. Okay, we're not done here. Like, that should give some guys, if you've got any pride and you want to do anything,
work ethic.
That should make you committed.
Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio. Warchant TV continues in a moment. A new year and much colder days, I must say, lately. I wanted to get some new pieces for my winter wardrobe, so thankfully Quince came on board, and they sent me some stuff. In fact, how about a little Mongolian cashmere sweater? You can get that, or you can get a wool coat or leather. They have everything you could possibly want. Italian leather at that, by the way. That seems special. Anyhow, I liked my Quince stuff. The wool coat that my wife got. I got a little warm-up outfit, for workouts and such. Hold it up nice. You can refresh your winter wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/headlines for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. It's now available in Canada, too, by the way. Any of our Canadian listeners out there? That's Quince, QUINCE.com/headlines. Free shipping, 365-day returns. Quince.com/headlines.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Mainly sunny this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 56. Northerly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows around 35 tonight, mainly clear. 62 tomorrow, overcast skies. Low 70s Thursday and Friday with a slight chance of rain showers Friday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 54.
Life doesn't slow down after 55. It just changes. The moments may look different, but they matter just as much. Maybe you're celebrating family milestones or taking that trip you've always promised yourself. At Capital Health Plan Center for Healthy Aging, your My Vitality plan helps you stay ready for it all with personalized care and support built around what matters most to you. Because there's still so much ahead. Call 850-399-9039 to learn more.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
I was laughing because, and this is a tradition, modern media tradition, the way too early projections for next year. How do you even do it now?
It's silly.
You have to sit down. Like it was always hard.
Yeah.
But it was a lot easier when you had three deeps that were loaded with 5 stars in one place. You could be like, I think they're going to be good.
Well, and you could see what the roster was going to look like. I mean, that you had literally the time that, I don't know, does Mark Schlabach still do that? It's like one of the 3 things.
Yeah.
The time it would take to not only, because you can't just look at last year's roster and say, okay, let me look at all the sophomores, juniors, who are coming back. No, it's a completely different roster at half these schools. So yeah,
I'd like to see what the one last year was.
Yeah. Yeah,
and who?
You'd have to. I know the preseason rankings for the 2 teams that played last night. Oddly, Miami was number 10 as they were going into this, but Indiana was 20th.
Yeah.
So
now they've got him at number 1. I think.
Yeah, they have him at number 1, which is funny. Now they have a huge portal haul now that he's established proof of concept.
He's got Mark Cuban.
Now he's got Mark. They all believe now, as they should. And they're bringing in Josh Hoover, as you know, from TCU, who can be a very good player at times. They bring in Nick Marsh from Michigan State, the wide receiver. They've got dudes coming in, but they've replaced a lot. I mean, they are replacing a lot. And
I'll tell you what, man, this would be cool. I will say this. If Florida State does get into the Big Ten, like for a long time, I was always lukewarm on that. I thought the SEC was where you want to be.
Yeah.
Makes more sense.
It is.
It is, but man, that's good. That's a pretty fun conference. Like you guys were talking earlier. I mean, it's a fun conference when you look at those teams. I mean, I thought Dan Lanning would have in Ohio State would just have that thing unlocked, but they don't. I mean, they're gonna have to fight and fight and fight.
Who?
He's saying Dan Lanning at Oregon and Ohio State.
Okay.
He means both of those 2 programs.
I thought you said Dan Henning.
No,
the old Falcons coach.
Man. Breaking out some Dan Henning. Yeah.
I thought Oregon with Dan Lanning and Ohio State would kind of murder, especially once Michigan Harbaugh left. I was like, okay, that's going to be just domination, but it's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best conference in the sport.
By the way, so get ready. You'll be sick of it by the time the season
starts. Weather, you don't want to be in that weather.
I'm not saying I want to be in there, but it's more appealing than it was.
Yeah, sure.
2 years ago.
The team that everybody, I would assume, and listen, I think the reason Schlabach did do the piece, by the way.
There you go. It's good to see him back.
Because he's still alive.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so he had Indiana number 1. That's the doffing of the cap for having won it.
Sure.
There's no way you would do that based on what they're losing and what Texas has. Like
Texas went nuts.
Texas went crazy.
They got Justin Cryer.
I mean,
Texas Cryer in the portal.
I mean, Texas
went nuts.
Texas decided, okay, I'm like Ohio State 2 years ago with the $25 million roster or whatever it was. That's what Texas just did.
And Arch looked like a player the last few games of the season.
Well, and they went and got him Cam Coleman just like that. Helps. So they've got dudes for days that they've brought in. They'll be the number 1.
They always do, though.
Well,
they always do. They've won 1 national championship in our lifetime.
But hold on, the Relic Brown kid, the stud.
Oh, I get it, man. They're loaded. It's hard to win. Ohio State was loaded this year.
And they were good.
I know,
really
but
good.
I'm saying to win a national championship, it's more than
I'm not saying I can tell you who will win the national championship. I'm telling you the way the predictions are going to work. They'll be preseason.
They'll be in the playoff. I feel confident that they'll be in the playoff.
It'd be hard not to. I guess Sark could screw it up, I suppose. But I mean, that's
just by what they did in the portal this year, I'm thinking Texas Tech spending all that money was like, okay, well, we're not dealing with this anymore.
We're not playing second fiddle to Texas Tech anymore.
It's one thing.
Go get the softball pitcher,
if
too.
Jimbo wants to outspend everybody at Texas A&M, that's one thing. But we're not letting Texas Tech do it, too.
Texas Tech has gone out and got a bunch of dudes, too, man.
Well, that's how it works.
But, man, It is a fun exercise to do today because if you want to further your schadenfreude from last night, go look at the starters expected to leave list for Miami. It's excessive, guys.
Yeah, man. I mean,
it's excessive.
And give them all the credit for building it the way they did, but this was their shot right now. I will say this, though, like when you look at, back to the point you were making earlier, like it is on one hand, you could say, okay, Florida State's portal season was not as bad as it could have been. And the recruiting season was not. I mean, considering what you just these last 2 years to finish with a top 15 recruiting class and then to do what they did in retention and the portal, like it's all better than it could have been. Like it's what we were bracing for. It was better than that.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you look at the difference between the schools we're talking about here.
Caliber of players.
And it's like, yeah, man, that's a different league.
Well, look at the quarterback. Just focus there. Miami's going to go get the kid from Duke crazily. And then Texas has got Arch. I mean, and Indiana went and got the starter for TCU that threw for 4,000 yards.
So that's disheartening.
Yes.
But again, this is where but the focus to me right now should be on, can these guys get the best of what they've got? Because if they do, then you're not losing to Stanford. Then you're not losing to Pitt at home. Then you know what I'm saying?
You can also beat a team that's better than you.
Well, they did.
Yeah.
They did.
I mean, they
but
did
do it more than once.
Yeah.
In 2 years.
Listen, I mean, you guys aren't naive, so I'm not saying this about you guys, but I mean,
you better not.
Any of us who are talking about next season, I mean, that has to start with, can the coach save his job? I mean, that's the storyline. The number one storyline is, does Mike Norvell save his job?
And the only way you should is if you can get close to what the sum of your parts. If you do that, you can keep your job.
What would you do if you were him? I'd
give $8 million.
No, but you have to know that you failed on many levels, as we were talking about before. You clearly, the team tuned you out at some point. They can say whatever they want in a press conference afterwards or media availability, but they didn't listen to that guy. So
I'll say this.
What do you do if you're him to get it back?
I will say this, I haven't written this yet. I don't know if I'll ever be able to write it at some point.
All right. It's intriguing.
I've definitely heard from multiple people that he's been acting a little bit different in terms of demanding things and getting on to people, support staff, other people.
Got nothing to lose, Mike.
Well, I mean, he should have been doing that all along.
Of course.
Yeah, after 2 and 10, you think that would be.
And I don't know that you can flip that switch back the other way, but I do think he has reflected on that. I feel like this whole thing with Garrett coming in, like the whole talk about that Mike Norvell still got final say, I think he knows he needs help. And so we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. If he doesn't, if he just wants to do it the way he's been doing, he's going to get fired.
Yeah, he'll get fired. Yeah, he knows he should have already been fired.
If he is changing how he operates to try to kind of get guys in line, and if he does listen to more people and lean on more people, then yeah, he's got a chance.
I don't think you'd ever see me if I had gone through a 2-year stretch like he's gone through. Meaning, I would be wandering the earth trying to get advice from people who have been successful after having failed as hard as he failed. I mean, it's happened. People have found a way. And
you would be in Tibet.
Yeah, I'm following some
With a
Sherpa
beard,
somewhere. Yeah, I'm doing something. I'm figuring it out.
Not even up a mountain, just into a village, into a store.
I agree with you, but I think there's a lot of coaches that once they've had success don't do that. I mean, for example, a lot of people who wanted Jimbo, a lot of people that wanted Jimbo to come back. We think Jimbo Fisher would be any different than he was at Texas A&M when he failed, or the last few years of Florida? I mean, we don't, you'd like to think.
Yeah, it's hard to know.
Yeah, it's hard to know with
merely having aged some more and then also failed again, like the tail end of the Florida State run, and then obviously outside of the one COVID year, he didn't do anything.
And even in that year, he had like the 9 overtime win. There was some fluky stuff.
There's some weird stuff in there, but I would like to think so, but I don't know. I
That's
haven't
what
talked
I'm
to
saying.
Jimbo in a long time.
And I think those types of people, it's hard to reinvent yourself. When you've had success. And Mike Norvell, for whatever we think about him today, until 2024, had success at every point of his career.
Sure.
So you believe that's you.
Except for when you get resounding evidence that it's a long time ago.
I agree, but you can go either way. Some people will they'll blame everybody else, and some people will self-reflect.
I hope
we'll see
that there's enough of a humbling effect, and I'm not saying he was arrogant, just
well, I'm sure he was.
All coaches who are
he's making $10 million a year.
Yeah. There's a level of confidence you're going to have that might surpass the reality of your situation solely based on, yes, your salary. I just would think that it wasn't one comeuppance. Yeah. It was a profound two. And you have no choice at that point. Like, if it's like the guy that's been divorced 3 times and he's blaming all of his ex-wives.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
It's time to look in that mirror.
If you're meeting
quit looking
a-holes,
at me. I've only been divorced once.
I just looked at you because you were looking at me.
if you're always meeting a-holes, sometimes you're the a-hole.
It's you, right? So at some point, I would think that you'd go, oh, well, man, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
And I don't.
I hope he's doing that
because he's got to find a way to connect again. Like connect with those guys, get them to hear him. He's always about respond and all these things. You got guys going through the motions in some of these games last year. You're like, that's not reflective of that sense of urgency that he tries to inspire or implement within his team. They tuned him out.
But even if they do have a decent year next year or a good year, nobody's going to think it's Norvell.
It's just a matter of whether or not he can save his job.
Yeah,
But
yes. I think it's such a weird dynamic with this coaching staff where he's got Gus Malzahn, who does he really feel like his superior? Like Gus Malzahn gave him his start. He hired him as like please come help me save my job. And he gave him a good offense, not a great one, and certainly not good enough it shouldn't have saved his job. But then you also got Tony White, who, how hard does Norvell coach his coaches when maybe you feel like you're beholden to Tony White to take this job because he was a big name and you don't want to lose him. So is he coaching Tony White? Is he coaching Gus Malzahn?
You're overcoming it a lot right now.
Kenny Dillingham. Like Dillingham, he gave him his start. Gus Malzahn is a completely different person. And is he chewing Gus's ass out?
The impression I get is that there's more of that happening. And I'm not saying necessarily with Gus, but I do think in general, he's been much more, from what I hear, just more demanding and holding people accountable. But again, can you do that for a long term? And will
you do it once the season starts?
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know how you can't.
Well, but to me, that's the whole. But to me, my whole thought about this team right now is, can you at least get that out of these guys? Can you get them to play hard for the entire season? Because the other thing that's happening, we're seeing with Florida State, but I think this is probably happening with a lot of schools, is once you don't, if you think you're a team that could make the playoffs, which is what FSU thought after they beat Alabama, and then you lose that, sometimes things go south. And I think the Miami guys were talking about that. They talked about that a lot last night when November 7th, when they lost to SMU, that they basically had to come to Jesus like conversation where this thing's going to go off the rails if we let it. We need to sell out to give ourselves a chance. And they did.
Yeah.
But a lot of teams, and I think this is what's happened to FSU these last couple of years, is once you kind of see that dream fade away, Norvell has not been able to keep them together at all. And I think that is a challenge, but you got to figure it out.
But if it's his personality, I mean, what if it's just his personality?
Well, I mean, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. I mean, listen, we don't have to solve that. I've wondered what he's doing to solve it, because there are a lot of factors that lead us to believe it's not likely that it's going to work out.
I think he should grow a beard.
Ira might be it.
I mean, at least a Fu Manchu, but he should grow a beard. I think he'd look tougher. He'd look more rugged.
Or just go with the unshaved look like Jimbo went with for that whole last year.
That's right. That was hilarious. I forgot about that. Wouldn't it be funny if, like, that first spring luncheon that we all go to when spring's about to start, and Mike walks in, his hair's down to here.
Yeah.
He's got a huge Grizzly Adams beard. He's like, fellas, how are you? He's very low-key.
Or
he's not yelling.
He kind of goes with like an Augie Garrido, like Zen-like approach now. He's got maybe a little Dave Aranda in him.
Oh, that'd be great.
Buddy,
yeah,
wouldn't
Dave
that
Aranda.
be the best?
I appreciate that
because
question.
we love that.
Yeah,
we would be at every. Oh,
and
man.
he gets to coach DJ Lagway this year.
Yeah,
Dave Aranda does.
Yep.
A lot of energy from those two.
I will be curious to see, by the way. Anyhow, we still have 40 seconds to try to survive here before we go to the top of the hour and get to a bunch of questions.
How about my son texting me in the middle of what's supposed to be a school day? He's at lunch right now at a restaurant, and I'm like, "Why aren't you at school?" And he goes, "Well, I don't have a class 7th period. They gave me where I don't have to have a class."
Yeah, and by the way, it's a very modern thing.
Yes,
that
what in the world is going on in high school?
He's a senior in high school. Man, some of the my kids would take like half the day off.
Half a day.
Crazy.
Bryce has been home for 2 hours.
Real quick,
he's a high school student.
I've got one last bitch about the game last night.
Oh.
Yeah.
How about our guy Mark Fletcher swinging at an Indiana guy, and the response from the broadcasters was, "Oh, we have to find out what led to that." But I don't know, 10 years ago when FSU had the audacity to walk off the field without shaking hands, it was an outrage. And last night you see Carson Beck, all he could do is get off the field.
By the way, he rolled, his body language was rolling his teammates in game. Why were they talking about what a great teammate? He's rolled them twice this year in post-game press conference. He's a bitch when it comes to those things, man. I mean, you can't. That was the best. Like when the kicker missed the kick, did you see the look?
Oh, yeah. Couldn't believe it.
I'm like, come on, buddy.
They should have shown the kicker's face when Beck threw that interception at the end. Just
Yeah.
my extra point would have won the game, man. It could have been the game winner, but you had to throw it to the corner.
That would have been great.
Hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with.
It's where you raise your kids, where friends become family, where every corner has a story worth telling. It's your neighborhood. At ABC 27, we share those stories, bringing you news that connects communities, builds pride, and reminds us we're part of something bigger. We are ABC 27, in your neighborhood.
Your body is a masterpiece designed to heal itself from within. Learn how to maximize your health by tuning in to Phenomenal Health with me, Dr. Ryan Finn. Saturdays at 2:30. Experience true health today and call Finn Chiropractic at 386-7700.
Tired of calling 1-800 numbers just to get put on hold? Flush those numbers down the drain and call Terry West Plumbing and Septic Services, now offering Terry's Toilets, providing clean, reliable porta potties for any job site, special event, or backyard party. Real local people doing real work. No robots, no AI, no call centers. For all your septic services and portable restroom needs, one local call wipes away the competition. Call 850-510-8558. That's 510-8558. Or visit terrywestplumbing.com. When you call, we answer.
This time of year, we enjoy spending time outdoors in this beautiful North Florida climate until the mosquito attack begins.
Paul's Termite Pest Control can help you take your yard back. We have an affordable program to help keep mosquitoes away. And our program even helps with other pests like ticks.
Mosquitoes are a nuisance to you, and by carrying diseases such as heartworms, they can be harmful to your pets.
Learn more about how Paul's can help protect you, your family, and your pets from mosquitoes. For the elimination of termites, pests like mosquitoes,
and a greener lawn too.
Call Paul's. We'll get them all.
Do you want to take your yard back by having a green and pest-free lawn?
At Paul's, we understand the unique needs of your North Florida lawn, which is why we developed a program to address those concerns.
Our treatment program includes inspection, treatment, and education on best practices for optimized results while remaining environmentally conscious. An added benefit is that our lawn treatment is flea suppression, so having a greener lawn can help protect your pets too. For a greener lawn and the elimination of fleas too,
call Paul's. We'll get them all.
Injured? Call attorneys who care. Facing Brooks. Offices, Tallahassee.
Many orthodontists in Tallahassee can straighten a smile, but at Birch Orthodontics, they're dedicated to providing the finest care possible. The experienced and friendly staff is trained in all of the latest techniques. So whether you need standard treatment like braces or Invisalign, or you have a more complicated case requiring extra attention, Birch Orthodontics is here for you. Set up your free consultation today by visiting birchorthodontics.com, BURCH orthodontics.com, or call 850-877-1692. At Birch Orthodontics, they create beautiful smiles that last a lifetime.
Real Talk fact number 82. There are 3 kinds of people in the world. Those who can count and those who can't. This is Real Talk 93.3.
You're listening to Seminoles at Real Talk 93.3. Stay tuned for more headlines coming up next. Your sports action update on Real Talk 93.3 with all the latest odds from Vegas.
Tampa Bay Lightning tonight skate at home against the San Jose Sharks. The Lightning 18-4-4, the Benchmark International Arena. A $2.98 favorite. Sharks plus 240 on the money line. They've won 7 of 10. The total is 6.5, shaded to the under. Florida Gators at the O'Connell Center tonight against the LSU Tigers. The Gators laying 14.5 points, 158.5 the total. Miami hosting Florida State at the Watsco Center in Coral Gables. Hurricanes 11.5-point favorites, 165.5 the total. The Seminoles looking to end a 5-game losing streak. Score $500 in rewards at the G-Bank First Bet VSiN Trifecta. Details at vsin.com/GBank. For more sports betting news and information, go to vsin.com. Mike Son at Real Talk 93.3.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I'm opening a second location for my coffee shop this year?
I smell trouble brewing.
I needed to print new menus, loyalty cards, window signage, so I went to Staples.
That'll cost you a latte. Get it?
Actually, I saved $100 on my print order, and everything looks amazing.
They'll grind my beans and call me impressed.
Staples made it easy.
If your business needs to print, let's go Staples.
That was easy.
Offer valid in-store and online. Ends 131. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply apply in minutes and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ETHOS.com/term.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, this is for my homeowner friends out there. You know who you are. When you get your grass cut, you're going to inspect the work, make sure it's good. Get your house painted, check around every corner and edge, make sure that's done right. Get a new roof, got to get eyes on those shimmering new shingles. Get your septic tank cleaned. Bet you're not popping your head down in there to take a look around. You got to trust it's done right. I'll make it easy. Go see my friend Greg Miller, Miller Septic. They're my guys. I trust them, and you can too. MillerSeptic.com. That's it. That's the commercial. That's the whole thing. Check them out. That's MillerSeptic.com.
This is Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage. You've probably heard the saying, marry the house, date the rate. Here's what that means. If you love the home, do not wait on the perfect interest rate. You can always refinance later, and I can help you plan for that from day one. In fact, a lot of homeowners I worked with last year are refinancing right now and saving hundreds each month. Others are using the equity in their homes to invest, buying second homes or rental properties that are already building wealth. So whether you're looking to lower your monthly payment, get cash out, or start an investment portfolio, let's talk strategy. I'll walk you through your options and find the smartest financial move for where you are right now. You can find me at loansforknowles.com. That's loansforknowles.com. You can reach me at 954-369-6171. That's 954-369-6171. I'm Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage, and I want to help give you the keys to your next opportunity.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
It's time for Seminole Headlines featuring Warchant.com's Jeff Cameron, managing editor Ira Schofel, and senior writer Corey Clark. Your weekly dose of all things FSU, pistols, and pies starts right now. Here's Jeff Cameron.
Hour number 2, Seminole Headlines. Headliner questions about to come your way. But before we get started with that, as always, we thank our friend Dr. Birch, Heather Birch, and the Office of Birch Orthodontics for their continued support and excellence in what it is they do. Birch Orthodontics.
The best in the business.
Best by far.
Dr. Birch and her staff.
I assume they're playing the Indiana fight song over the speakers today. I would think.
Be. I'm sure Dr. Birch was enjoying it. But yeah, all of our kids have gone there. A lot of our friends' kids have gone there. Just rave reviews. You know, when you go, like Kim and I are going out, we're going out of town this weekend.
Okay.
Where are you going?
Looking at hotel reviews.
Doing it up. Don't worry about that, Corey.
Okay,
somewhere in
the
Tampa area.
Somewhere
in the Tampa area.
Near Mons? Are you going to Mons?
No, we're not this time.
First stop.
No, Kim's tired of the
Yeah.
But it's old after a while. You see the same women.
We're gonna go see Molly. She's down there, and then the rest of the family's going to a yarn festival. I think
you're gonna miss that one. I hope the yarn festival will be good. Good job.
But we're all going to. We're looking at the reviews. We're all big on reviews now. I don't know if Dr. Birch is. I don't know if there's Yelp for orthodontics. I don't know if there might be something.
Could be.
But take it from us. They're all 5-star reviews. Dr. Birch and her staff do amazing work. All the latest technology, from just the common braces that everybody has, run-of-the-mill braces that most kids are having now, to more complicated cases like our kids had. One of yours and one of mine.
Did,
tremendous work. They do the payment plans in the office if you need them, so that makes it a lot easier. And we can't recommend them highly enough.
Well done, Ira. I felt like that was succinct and earnest.
Keep it moving.
It just felt good.
It's a vibrant celebration of the fiber arts community. That's what you're going to this weekend?
No, he's not going.
Well, I know, but you're going. You're allowed.
Family members.
You're going.
The ladies maybe headed that way.
So apparently, there's 35 different dyers. They dye the yarn, and then they do their own little twists on it. And
you
then,
don't say.
Yeah. So
unbelievable.
Hey,
Kim
while
and the kids are all excited about it.
While she and your daughters are there, why don't you think about little Cigar City Highlight? Stop by.
Ooh, all right.
Oh, buddy, you can go to the brewery.
And I can go to Mons.
You can do both.
Oh, a matinee at Mons.
Yeah, it's the best time to be there.
Underrated.
Yeah, it is.
Underrated,
it is.
guys.
You got it more to yourself.
Yeah, it's great. Mark writes, which quarterback would have you the most excited for next season if they were to win the job?
I think if Sperry beats out those dudes, you'd be fired up. You'd be. I mean, that would be impressive.
Fired up?
I think you could talk yourself into being fired up.
I think you're right.
You have to see what he looked like, but he looked fine when he played. I thought he was impressive enough for a true freshman when he came in and played. He didn't play enough or much. But yeah, he's got some tools and he's got a little what for to
Even
him.
the one practice we were at. The one scrimmage we were at,
Well, you shook your boy.
Oh,
that was embarrassing.
Into next week.
Yeah.
I think that kid's in the transfer
I was going to say, where is he?
Yeah, I think he went in the portal.
Not here. He went to the portal that day. I mean, that was a toughie. He had a little something to him there, but we'll
I also
see.
think like Ashton Daniels isn't going to excite anyone, good or bad. I mean, he's 3 years as a college quarterback. We know what he is. Sperry's the unknown, the excitement of the unknown, I think.
I think a lot of Florida State fans, myself included, will want to see whomever it is playing a game before I get excited about anything.
That's fair. I wish
the premise of the question. We're just answering the premise of the question.
Yeah, I do. And he said most. I think he said most.
He didn't say most
He didn't say you're gonna be excited.
Yeah, that's the way to put it. You're right. Sorry.
I wish the JUCO kid was here in the spring because that would be like. I mean, that's it's a small sample size, and he went to a loaded team. That team's won 4 of the last 5 national championships in junior college. So he was surrounded by probably better talent than he was going up against. But 64% of his passes, 33 to 8 touchdown interceptions.
And now that we saw what happened at Ole Miss with the Chambliss kid, everybody's like, well, who knows?
Who's our Chambliss?
Who's our guy? So, Dan says, any chance Norvell took notes and said, maybe I don't need to have laryngitis every week and just teach technique and get kids to Dan, I feel you, buddy. I'm with you on
I
that.
saw some Twitter last night talking about how you just the stoic nature of Cignetti for the most part.
Cristobal too, right?
For the most part,
not a outwardly emotional guy. Doesn't seem like. Yeah,
I don't know when he's in practice, but yeah,
it's a toughie. That was bad. That was bad in Raleigh.
R.A. Knoll writes, gentlemen, as a member of the father of a high school senior athlete club, how do I explain to savor? Oh, okay. How do I? He wants to know how he savors the experience, but isn't sappy.
Yeah, my daughter quit after junior year, so you guys have better. You guys will do a better job of answering this. Yours is going into a senior year.
He is, yeah,
and yours just finished a senior year.
He's finishing his senior year now.
How do you?
How did you just enjoy those football games?
I mean, you went to all of them, right?
I never missed one.
Yeah. That's half the battle.
It's different with baseball. It's like 31 games.
Yeah, I was going to say I might have missed a baseball game. Yeah, but no, I didn't miss any of the games. I think just be like, this is going to sound cheesy and cliche, but just be in the moment, man. Like, enjoy the game for what it is. I mean,
I'm going to try because it's probably. I mean, it's a good chance the last time I ever watched Brady play baseball again. I've been doing it for 12 years, so I will try to enjoy it.
It's really kind of important to do that. Like, be where you're at, man. Just watch that game.
If he strikes out in a big moment, clearly I'm going to throw stuff at him
and scream him down in front of others,
in front of his coaches.
Good parenting.
I mean, when Alexa stopped playing basketball to focus on theater, I was crushed because that was like our thing. Like from the time she was 6-7 years old, that was the one thing she and I had was me rebounding for her or me whatever. And then all of a sudden that's gone. But then you find it and you fill it in other ways.
Like, so in yarn.
In yarn.
Like going to Tampa together this weekend for a big old fiber festival.
But so I guess my point would be that it's going to end.
Yeah.
And you'll be sad when it ends.
I'm wrestling with all that. You've done this multiple times, not me.
Then we get the grandkids to think about and watch them play sports.
Stop all that, man. Golly. Just enjoy every one of those games.
Real quick, somebody in the chat asked if Jaden O'Neal blew out his knee. He did. He's had surgery. That came out last week. So FSU's freshman quarterback will not be part of this competition. He was an injury from the season. I think he got hurt early in the year. They didn't realize how bad it was. He played the rest of the season, had a good year, and but he already had surgery and likely out for his freshman year.
Scotty, this is well played, and we've kind of alluded to it, but you make it succinct here. This is well done. The football gods come to Jalen Lucas prior to the 2024
Oh,
season.
man, that kid. I can't stop thinking about him.
I was talking about the other day with,
And said, choose a school. 13-0 FSU or 3-9 Indiana.
And have you seen the coach's press conference, the introductory press conference of your new coach?
But choose wisely.
Yeah.
As one will win a national championship and the other will win 7 games in 2 years. And I don't really even count it as 7. I think they got
it's like 4.
They got like
4.
3 wins.
You got Cal, Alabama, Wake, and Virginia Tech.
Okay, so 4.
In Charleston Southern, Kent
Doesn't
State,
count,
and
doesn't
yeah,
count.
no, they don't count. 4 flipping wins.
Yeah.
And you just think of the teams y'all just listed that Indiana rolled through.
By the way, it should be noted that Lucas was fabulous at Indiana as a returner. I mean, he was like a
they were
legit
probably
baller.
upset to lose him.
He and Destin Hill are reunited at Tulane now, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
And who's the new coach at Tulane?
It's the guy that used to be at Southern Miss,
Oh,
Will
okay.
Hall.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
There's a Norvell guy, so I think it.
Unbelievable, Jalen Lucas. I really do feel bad for him. Nobody can blame somebody for leaving Indiana to join Florida State right after 13-0. And then he blows out his knee and does whatever he does in the second game of the season. And then Indiana becomes the best team in the country. Unbelievable.
Them's the breaks.
It is.
Yep.
It is crazy. Bob writes, any chance there's one underrated strength in the current roster that could sneak us past a ranked opponent next year? Just trying to be optimistic.
An underrated strength or just a strength?
He's saying underrated. So I think
one
the thought,
underrated strength on the current roster that could sneak us past a ranked opponent next year.
I think what he's saying is there's something on this team that we're not people aren't talking about right now that's going to help you beat.
There is a chance. Yes. I would say there is a chance. I don't know what it is, but there is a chance.
Admittedly, I haven't watched a lot of the Texas running back, but I assume he's a physical runner.
He's not a big kid.
No, he's not a big
okay.
kid,
But
no.
Croma is.
Croma is.
So you have a change up. If they deem him worthy to get carries this year, I do like the fact that you might have a legitimately good 1-2 running back combo to go along with a quarterback that can move.
Yeah, I sure. Yeah, I don't.
Because you didn't really have that
I'm not
this
even
year.
being a jaded ass here. I'm just like, yeah, sure. It's entirely possible that you ride 2, I think, talented running backs. If you get some semblance of quarterback play, yeah, you might be able to move the ball effectively. I mean, we've seen that can happen. Going all the way back to the Alabama game, it turned out to be Tommy's best game. He hit on a couple of big throws that you had to make, right?
Yeah, he completed 9 passes.
He ended up not really doing anything close to that the rest of the year, but yeah. So I suppose so.
Well, he went out with a bang in Gainesville.
Oh, don't do it, man.
Right, Ira? You were there when he said that.
Yeah. It was an unfortunate thing to say.
Jaden Ball went out with a big bang, too.
As soon as he said it, I was like, oh,
yeah.
See, that's just so, yeah. J-Rod writes, do you think all the positive vibes from high school recruits about the new coaching staff are the real deal, or is this more fool's gold and Mike's going to get played in the end again? Well, look, kids who are contacted about visits or thoughts on coaches or programs generally say nice things.
That seems to be customary.
Yeah. So I don't care if they gush or not. I don't buy any of it ever.
We should have Matt and Nick, and do some sort of almost like an explainer, like you do with the coach. Your whatever you call it, like you're reading
the PR firm
with the coach is trying to say translations.
Yes.
With recruits, the things they're all going to say positive things. What you want to focus on when you listen to these interviews or you read these updates on recruits is they're number one. Like, yes, they're out in front. Like, they're setting the pace. They're the team. They're recruiting me harder than everybody else. Those are some of the buzzwords you want to hear. Or if you just hear that, like, it was a good time, if it's there needs to be something special beyond just like we like them. And Coach Norvell tells me he's going to push me hard. Well, yeah, I mean, they all say that.
They all say that, yeah.
Maybe he should stop saying it. Norvell. Maybe he keeps telling, hey, if you don't want to be coached hard, don't come here. A lot of kids are saying, okay, I'm going somewhere else.
It'd be hilarious if he actually did the whole opposite thing, the George Costanza thing. Like if he like sat a kid down and said, listen, you may never see me. I don't know if I'm going to have much in the way of interaction with you at all.
I'm trying to take a hands-off approach this year.
I really want to wish you the best.
Yep.
And Gus will be in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it would be hilarious.
Good meeting you. Tell your mom I said hello, please.
Yeah, take care. Walter writes, good afternoon, winners. How the heck did we beat that Mendoza kid? Well, they couldn't block Farmer, and their field goal kicker missed everything.
And
that helped.
And he looked nervous.
And DJ threw that dime in the corner of the end zone to, I can't remember who caught it. Who caught that? Was it?
Yeah.
Why would I want to say Keith Gavin?
I want to say Portier, but I'm not sure.
It could have been Portier. It could have been Portier Williamson. No, it was Ja'Kai Douglas. My man Ja'Kai went and caught it. Yeah.
Tony wants to know what's the best case scenario for the quarterback position in the 26 season. Sperry being the starter and better than Tommy. Well, it wouldn't be hard.
Best case.
Or one of the others being the starter and being better than Tommy. What helps FSU is the best in the long run? Well, I mean, obviously everybody's got to be better than Tommy there, Tony.
Well, and also if it's Sperry or the JUCO kid, I mean, he's way behind coming in the summer, but if he can catch up, then that clearly means he's a pretty good player if he can catch up and pass those two guys.
You're not learning too sophisticated of an offense here.
You're right, but still, those two guys had 6 months. And Sperry 19 months or whatever. But you get multiple years with them. If it's the JUCO kid or Sperry, you get multiple years with them. It's the first time they've had that in a while. If Sperry can show anything, if he can beat out I think this is an interesting stat. You know, Ashton Daniels had whatever he had total yards against Alabama, 360. Nobody else they played had anywhere close to that, Alabama's defense. Like, he did to Alabama's defense what not any other quarterback had done. And that was an Alabama defense that was trying really hard. So he does have something there, running for 100 against Alabama. That's something. But if Sperry can beat that guy out, then I feel like you feel pretty confident that Sperry might be a good quarterback.
This will be interesting to hear how you guys answer this. And when I first read it, I didn't know I was going to read it on the air. But now the way he presented it, I think is absolutely fair. And I've heard something about this, and I'm sure you have too, Ira. So let's go. John writes, outside thought, we don't need Spanx. Sure we do, John. Sure we do. We don't need to turn that away. Anyhow, we need the tribe of Florida. Sell them the naming rights, deepen the university ties to the tribe. Seminole name would never be at risk at that point. Cash flow for the whole thing. Win, 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 win. How's this not done already? It has been talked about.
Yeah. I mean,
John, it has been talked about.
Yeah.
Coming up with that number is a difficult thing to do, though.
Well, and I think part of it is how long of a deal do you do?
Correct.
You know, do you do a 20-year deal? Do you do a 10-year deal? Do you, and then obviously.
Ira, we're up against it. I'm doing the deal.
How about a 10-year deal with a look-in? With a look-in after 5 years.
I like the look-in clause. Good job. Good job. Yeah. Agent Corey's here.
Yep.
I feel like that's going to happen at some point.
I do too. I knew you had heard the same thing I had heard. There's a number out there, John. It needs to be a bigger number than the number I heard. So who knows? We'll see what ends up happening. But
more than they paid for that McDonald's sign.
Yeah.
So ridiculous. McDoke.
I remember driving down Gaines and coming around like, what in the?
Yeah, just a McDonald's, like a picture of the McDonald's Golden Arches.
Where are we going to rank that in the number of missteps made by Florida?
Especially when you heard the number they were getting for it, it's like you sold
$17.
Yeah. Six Happy Meals.
You get the extra value meal.
Yeah, it's on the heels of yesterday being MLK Day, which brought up, of course.
Do something. Yeah,
it was all in that time frame. There's some tough days.
Some missteps.
No, the McDonald's thing was with Jimbo because I remember asking Jimbo about it. He goes, Corey, they don't tell me anything they do around here. They just do stuff. I look up and I see it.
There seems to be a lot of discussion about how IU targeted older players in the portal with all that proven production. Do you think FSU may do something similar? Well, they just tried. They did something similar.
No, they did, and they had a better roster than they did the year before. Right. And I will say that I do think, from what I can gather about John Garrett, there is definitely a focus on not as much about what possibly somebody could do, but like on verified metrics and production. There's going to be a more solid evaluation.
What about just like the guy loves the sport? Well, he really plays football. That has to be. Don't just go get. And maybe the A&M kid is a guy that loves football. He just hasn't produced. But
I think the difference is really quick. Sorry, Corey.
Hurry up.
Listen here.
Hurry up.
The thing about this is you've got to find. We're talking about football players, right?
Yeah.
Tough football players who won't sulk when things go south and quit on you, but also have an idea of why they work in your system. Know what you're trying to do and how they fit in what you're trying to do. Indiana, it's like no wasted motion here. These guys are guys that he knows can fit in what he's trying to do. He's even talked about it openly. Like, I could look at two veteran players and one doesn't really fit in what I'm trying to do offensively or defensively. So I'm going to go with the guy that has a lot of experience. They're both going to have a lot of experience. I need the guy that, hey, he runs this well. We'll use him for this. I too often feel like there's sort of just willy-nilly, we'll take him because he's played a lot. Have an idea what you're trying to do
and
here,
I do think it's going to be we'll see what it looks like with this different approach. But on that point about loving football,
I still haven't gotten to my point.
let me sneak one more in here.
Hey, we're just sneaking them in.
And then we're going to break.
We're just sneaking them in.
The other thing, it just reminded me of something Coach Henshaw, George Henshaw, who does Henshaw's House for Warchant.com subscribers. So get your free or your 50% off special. But one of the things he talked about was when he was evaluating high school football players, when he was a college coach, he really liked to watch tapes of players on teams when they were not doing well.
Yes.
Because then you really see what they're all about. If they're not just front runners. I thought that was a really cool insight.
Yeah,
so all the Florida State kids that have been in the portal recently, they've got a lot of that film. Those coaches they've gone to like, we see what
there's too much film.
See what Jalen Lucas looks like when teams aren't doing well.
Which loss was this one?
My point was with the Desirs. We haven't even talked about it because the last time we had a show, we didn't know if they were coming back. So they're back. That's a big get. Obviously, the production matters. The way they play matters to me. Like, they play hard. I know it was a extended negotiation, but you need as many of those guys. It was imperative to get them because you needed bodies and you need production. Yeah. You also need guys like that on your football team. You know what I mean? Just motors, guys that love the sport, that love the physicality of the sport. I don't know they have a ton of those. Those two guys are built that way. They're just built that way.
I want all of our guys to play the way the one running back for Indiana runs. That dude is a MFer. I mean, a fire hydrant. Even for a 4-yard gain, Miami had to pay the price for making that tackle, and they did. They kept making those tackles. Not the guy that you don't like, not the Bimby kid, but the other kid. Yeah. That dude runs like his life depends on every carry. It just goes smashing in. It's 4 yards. You're like, that hurt, man. There was I think it was a Basaint tackle. He got run the hell over, and he's holding on for dear life, and you're like, man, that's a lot. That takes something out of you. That's in the first half. You're like, son of a bitch.
Another key play in that game that we won't it'll be lost is when Mendoza holds onto that ball when I think it's Messidor.
Yeah, and he's got him.
That punches it. I'm like, man,
that's a strong-handed dude.
That was impressive.
Because it looked like in real time, you're like, man, throw the ball away. You had time, but he's trying to corral the ball because
he's trying to keep it from going on the ground. Yeah, it's impressive.
That was a great game. It's a good game. I enjoyed watching it.
Right.
Especially there at the end.
Yep. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV continues in a moment.
2026 is the year you launch your business, the year you transform into an entrepreneur, a founder, your own boss. One powerful move puts your future firmly in your hands, starting a business with Shopify. Maybe you've got an idea you can't shake, a store you've already designed in your head. With Shopify, 2026 is when you finally make it happen. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person. Millions of entrepreneurs, including Seminole Headlines, have already made this leap. From household names to first-time business owners just getting started. Shopify gives you all the tools to easily build your dream store. Choose from hundreds of beautiful templates that you can customize to match your brand. Setup is fast with Shopify's built-in AI tools that write product descriptions and headlines. Marketing is built in too. Create email and social campaigns that reach customers wherever they scroll. As you grow, Shopify grows with you. Handle more orders, expand to new markets, and do it all from the same dashboard. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/warchant. Go to shopify.com/warchant. That's shopify.com/warchant. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side.
Style and expert service for any budget. Call 668-4835 for a free consultation online at budgetblinds.com/Tallahassee.
Barry knows cool. He's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool. You can put him to the test. Barry knows heating and air conditioning. Keeping you comfortable. What Barry does best.
No matter how busy life gets, your home is the place where your family and friends show you they care and celebrate with you. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning always make sure your home is comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, Barano will always be there for you.
This is Tyler from Barano Heating and Air. Now you can schedule an appointment, purchase or renew your service agreement, or pay your bill from your mobile device. Any day, anytime, anywhere. When you turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license number CAC 1816186.
Barano Heating and Air Conditioning.
Game Games for Less, Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used games, as well as new and used consoles like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Atari 2600, PS4, and PS5. You name it. Locally owned and operated since 1994, trade-ins are not only welcome, but Games for Less pays more for your trade-ins than the big chain stores. That's not all. Games for Less now buys and sells new and used vinyl records to boot. George loves the Beatles, by the way. Reserve all the new releases today at Games for Less, conveniently located in the Walmart Supercenter Plaza on Appalachia Parkway.
On the front lines, fighting the insanity of the woke, it's Matt and Brett Doster with America in View.
Matt, Florida has become the world leader for freedom, and I love being in the studio with you every week where we are reinforcing the conservative movement with truth, the Constitution, and a little redneck common sense. We're waking the woke.
That's right, Brett. We enjoy talking politics and what's going on in the world. We're bringing our take on the issues, doing our best to fight for freedom.
So tune in every Friday at 4 p.m. on Real Talk 93.3.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
Met somebody 2 days ago who told me that they went out to Tavello and got for the first time because they heard us talking about it. And they decided the weather was nice. It was before it was freezing, and they went over there and hung out and loved it. And they got to meet Maurice too, and which is cool.
It's always a plus when you get to meet Maurice.
Yeah, he's awesome. So yeah, that's Tavello. More of you should do the same. It's delicious, and right about now, I mean, we're going to get these great temperatures coming up. So make your way out there and enjoy a cold one.
We actually had somebody tweeted us same thing a couple days ago, similar type.
That is correct.
They wanted the first time they've been there for a while, and or first time they had been there, and man, just go up there. Thomasville, it's a cool little town. Go check it out. But also, Tavello is right there before you get to downtown. It's a quick ride,
right next to a yarn store.
Oddly enough,
yarn always plays a pivotal role on this show.
It's threaded,
throughout.
But
well done.
As the temps go up a little bit, as it gets a little warmer, sit on that patio, enjoy it. It's a good time. And Maurice and Lynn are awesome, great people in there, and all the different varieties.
You can also just order your beer and drink it at home. You don't have to go up
get
there.
Cans, they can it. Yep.
Just throwing that out there.
Let's see here.
Where they can drink it at your home.
Any home. Not
Ambassador to Florida writes, gentlemen, given IU's run the last two seasons, winner X's and O's more important than Jimmy's and Joe's. Are some coaches worth the money? Here's the problem, Ambassador. I'll answer first. You can't predict it. You don't know who that coach is going to be. There's no way that Kurt Cignetti would have been toiling at James Madison forever and a day, and before that, Elon and others into his 60s.
Yeah.
If they knew, that's the guy. That's that. We just need to hire him. He's the dude.
Did you see the article the other day? Like they quoted some school administrators who had interviewed him before, and they were kind of like, "Yeah, we didn't get a great vibe." Like he's kind of that. Well, the question they asked themselves,
he does not do well in an interview. I wouldn't think.
Well, and the reason we laughed at him at that press conference,
and rightfully
is
so,
because he was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And their point was, these administrators were like, "Yeah, man, you're talking to him, and you're like, how's this going to play with kids? Like, how are players going to respond to this?"
Yeah,
it hit there.
Perfectly.
It may not have hit somewhere
perfectly.
else.
Yeah. No, clearly he's a good coach, and he's always been a good coach. He's had success everywhere he's ever been. But if we all could just look at that and say, "Oh, well, that's the guy," then the administrators everywhere would have already snatched him up or efforted to do so. Indiana was in dire straits with nothing to lose. They had never won anything of any importance at all. They were the losingest college football program in history. What the hell they care? Take a flyer on a guy from James Madison who's done a lot of winning at James Madison. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and
he's talking about winning the Rose Bowl at his introductory press conference.
They didn't pay him much at all initially. Now they are now. But he brought in a gazillion transfers. Like I said earlier in the show, he did have the continuity of bringing his OC and DC that's been with him forever and a day. So they hit the ground running, and it worked. It's the perfect time and the perfect system and the perfect year.
I wouldn't have thought it would matter how good a coach you were. Your 3-star Indiana kids are not going to beat 5-star Alabama and Ohio State kids, even if they're well coached. And Alabama's not.
He proved differently, but
Right,
but
they have players. I mean, they have players.
They do, but they don't have NFL players all over the field. They just don't. But I don't know, like a 22-year-old that's played a lot of college football versus a 19-year-old that's awesome but hasn't fulfilled who he's going to be yet. I think it really might shift how some of these schools. But you got to go find the Cignetti. Good luck.
Well, right. I mean, he obviously knows what he's looking for. Coaching does matter, and it all worked out really, really well.
Yeah.
And I do think it's a crazy cool story. I don't know that you can replicate it. In fact, I'm going to tell you, I don't think you can.
I don't either.
Because if you could, you would. Lots of schools would be like, "Oh, find me the guy."
And
well, good luck.
Glenn from Florida just said UCLA is trying to do the same thing with Bobby Chesney, and we'll see. Again, we'll see. There's not everybody copycats because you think, okay, well, this is going to work, but there's no guarantee it's going to work. But just like Norvell, and sometimes the messaging is right at the right time with the right players. Listen to Jarian Jones when he's on that podcast with Jordan Travis and them about how much he can't understand as he watches these players not relate to Mike Norvell. He doesn't understand why. He's like, I've been there. I don't understand why it doesn't work. Well, it did work, and then it doesn't. And as a coach, you got to figure out why it worked and then why it's Jimbo. Man, think about that Louisville game where they could have lost by 100, or the BC game where they just quit. That's the same guy that the 2013 guys will tell you is the greatest coach they ever had. So it's just sometimes it's the right players, the right coach, and the right time.
I think, though, with Cignetti, it's not about a connection with the players or communicating. He's just a great what do you
they
call
have
it?
to believe.
Strategian? What do you call it? What's
strategist?
Strategist?
Yeah.
Not strategian.
No.
You can do that.
I'm a strategian. I guess he's a strategist.
Yeah.
But I don't want to dismiss just how well they're coached.
They are coached
they are coached very well. He's never going to be anybody's friend, and he's never going to be like, man, I don't think Cignetti likes me. That doesn't matter with him.
But that's not it. Coaching is the same thing as teaching. It's the same. Getting somebody to understand what you're trying to say, and then to get them to believe you're giving them the right information.
The fits that we
but
talk
also
about.
Give them the right information.
Well,
that's what he does
for sure. But he also, there has to be a way you communicate and then them receive it in the right way. Those kids believe in him. They believe in that staff.
They absolutely do, and they will until they don't. And at some point it'll fade. I would say, though, again, a lot of people today are asking themselves why not us? We're at whatever place we're at, and we haven't won anything ever. How come we can't do it, man? Because it's not easy to identify that fit. You don't know it. I would argue Indiana didn't know it. They lucked into it. They needed a new head coach because they just fired the other one, and they had fired the one before that, and they'd fired the one before that, and they'd fired the one before that. So what is it? Tom Allen gets fired, and they need a new coach. Well, if they had known Cignetti was great, they wouldn't have hired Allen. They'd have brought his ass in before.
5 years ago.
Right.
And Tom Allen is the one that signed the Becker kid.
And that kid's a beast.
I mean, good.
I love that kid.
They should throw to him more.
Well, they will next year because he's only a sophomore.
Yeah, he's awesome.
But the point is, they didn't know either. They brought him in. They needed a guy. He sold a vision. They have said that. And they're like, okay, we've tried everything else. This guy's at least one over here. Let's see what happens. And the next thing they knew, they woke up and went, holy moly, we're kicking ass.
Yeah.
And we're all in shock. I guarantee you, if they're being honest, they had no idea. They get credit, but come on.
Well, it's the same thing in the NFL, man. I remember and we talked about this on the show at the time because I know I brought it up at the time. When I watched that introductory press conference with Mike McDaniel with the Dolphins, I thought to myself, you got to be kidding me. How is that guy going to get players? But then I went on social media and the Miami Dolphin fans were like, yes, we'd love this guy. He's a genius and all this. Well, now he's fired and you hired Jeff Hafley. And I've got Dolphins friends who are like, you got to be kidding me. We hired another guy.
You don't know that could work out well.
I was going to say, I watched, as part of Coach Speak, I watched a lot of Jeff Hafley press conferences at BC. He's an interesting dude, man. He's smart, and I think he's got a personality that would relate to players. We'll see. It may go disaster, but it may be way better than McDaniel was. You just don't know.
It ought to be, I would hope. But I would say this about Hafley. Even when he was at Boston College, everybody knew he was going to be an NFL head coach. They all said, well, it's a matter of time before he becomes a head coach. And he has no NFL head coaching experience, but he was the head coach at BC. And he was the defensive coordinator with Green Bay. Yeah, right. Who knows? It is very difficult to know. I think it's a little bit different than pro and college, but
it's getting more and more intertwined.
But trying to find the fit, this is where I got mad at our administration. I get it that you can look at the 12 candidates and say there's none of these guys that I know. Well, you're never going to know. You're not going to know. So that can't be the reason. Now,
there's
the
that
was
anchor.
The money.
There's the anchor tied to it.
That was the better reason.
Yes.
That was the reason that in reality they were using. But yeah, you can't. I don't know if it's going to work out with any of those coaches that just got jobs in college.
Like, I don't think the Falcons would have fired Raheem Morris if it was going to cost them $75 million to do it, to go hire Kevin Stefanski.
I like Stefanski.
I do too. But I mean, you don't know. He's also, whatever, he's 5-20
Deshaun
last year.
Watson hindered him
a little bit.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping through all of this with Indiana, I'm hoping the revelation that colleges have now with Indiana, with the success they've had, is that how important it is to not just hire a head coach and think, okay, we've done our part.
Right.
Because I think that's the way college sports has operated for since we've been watching college sports. You hire that head coach and you just hope for the best. Man, it is an organization. It is the efficiencies that are acquired now because of the way the game is, the money that's in it and everything else. You have to make sure that it's running at a high level. The thing that Cignetti talks about every time he's asked about how you've done it, he talks about getting the right people in and getting them in the right positions. That is from Good to Great, the book on business and how to get the right people on the bus. Like, that is textbook. It's not just about hiring a coach and hoping for the best. That's what Florida State, I like to believe, the efforts they're making in the front office and some of the things they're doing to help Mike Norvell, that's where it needs to get to. Whether it's Mike Norvell or somebody else, you have to get an organization that's efficient and not just hope that this head coach has all the answers.
And there are some core things that you better be doing as well. And talent acquisition is high on that list. And it's not all, because, again, I've talked about this before. There are teams competing and making the playoffs right now who aren't spending a third of what Texas is going to spend next year. Now, they all have rev share. Right. They all have red share. But these schools like LSU and others that are saying they're going to add 25 to 30 million more, they are going to do that, even though, I've said before, our athletic director didn't believe that was so. But not everybody's going to do that. And a lot of people won't do that. And they'll still compete at a very high level. They'll still have a chance, but you got to evaluate. You got to recruit. Yeah. You got to recruit. Now, you may not be able to win the services of the $4 million quarterback. Agreed, guys. They're probably not going to get him. But you don't have to. You can get other quarterbacks that aren't that guy, that are, 1.8 million or whatever it is, but you've got to evaluate what you're doing. I agree with Ira on that point. Have a clue and then find fits for the system that you want to run.
Right.
Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. A new year and much colder days, I must say, lately. I wanted to get some new pieces for my winter wardrobe, so thankfully Quince came on board, and they sent me some stuff. In fact, how about a little Mongolian cashmere sweater? You can get that, or you can get a wool coat or leather. They have everything you could possibly want. Italian leather at that, by the way. That seems special. Anyhow, I liked my Quince stuff. The wool coat that my wife got. I got a little warm-up outfit, for workouts and such. Holding up nice. You can refresh your winter wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/headlines for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. It's now available in Canada, too, by the way. Any of our Canadian listeners out there? That's Quince, QUINCE.com/headlines. Free shipping, 365-day returns. Quince.com/headlines.
Meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Mainly clear this afternoon with a high of 56. Northerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, lows dip down to about 35. Partly cloudy tomorrow, high of 63. Mainly sunny skies Thursday with highs around 73. 71, slight chance for showers Friday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, it's 56 degrees.
Pay-per-view fights can ring up big bills, especially since in the Octagon, there is one every few weeks. That's why the Seventh Hill Tap Room right downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill carries every single fight. Plus, unlike most pay-per-view bars, there's no cover charge. And drink specials, too, like $3 select domestic beers and more. And if you enjoy international soccer, Seventh Hill opens early. $2 mimosas on Sundays, anyone? The Seventh Hill Tap Room, 2475 Appalachia Parkway. Just downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
The Civil Air Patrol Tallahassee Composite Squadron is always looking for new members. We have opportunities for both cadets ages 12 to 17 and adults 18 and up. The Civil Air Patrol is part of the U.S. Air Force's total force. If you're interested in earning community service hours, building leadership skills, aviation, search and rescue, disaster relief, or countless other opportunities, you can find your local squadron at GoCivilAirPatrol.com. That's GoCivilAirPatrol.com.
All right, no honor. We're just rolling on Big River.
We're good. We got
Get
this
it together.
We got this.
I didn't do anything wrong. We're good, buddy. We're good. They needed you to know about the Civil Air Defense or whatever that was. So it's out there. Malcolm wanted to know if we had big money boosters at FSU the way that Miami and Texas Tech and others, and now Cuban at Indiana will have. Not necessarily, Malcolm, but he goes on to say, what would we do to be able to keep pace? I mean, there are some people out there that could fill that role. And by the way, FSU's not broke. Again, I want to point out from an NIL standpoint, everybody has the same rev share.
Yeah.
From an NIL standpoint, Florida State has not fallen below top 25 in money spent. So they're not losing because they don't have money. They're poorly coached, disorganized. They've done a poor job of evaluating and developing talent. That's why they've lost.
And they don't have enough money, clearly, to fire a guy and give him $60 million. But a lot of schools wouldn't want to do that. And we can understand why you
being
wouldn't want
hesitant
to
do it is one thing.
Yes.
But anyhow, the point would be they got to do a better job of putting kids in positions to succeed, developing the talent that they do have, and recruiting and putting an emphasis on recruiting. That still matters. And they've got plenty of money for a base roster that's going to allow you to win 8 games.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, that's what we were talking about earlier. It's this. Yeah, you can sit there and get frustrated because you're not in the market for the top quarterback and the top player. But just you can be a lot better than you've been with what you've got.
Hell of a lot better, which would then cause people to perhaps gravitate to your
and
school.
open the door, people giving more money.
100%. That's the other problem, Malcolm, just so you know. There are plenty of people with a lot of money that have given a lot of money that are like, yeah, you know what? Show me you know what you're doing first before I double dip again. Let's see how you guys get this done. Motivation will be interesting. Evaluation and development will be interesting. Listen, this is it. This is the final referendum. I have to believe for Mike and by virtue of that, his staff. Kristen says, "Hey guys, I know we didn't end up hiring a new coach this year, but if we had, who would you have wanted?"
Signetti. I feel like that's the right answer.
Yeah, we would have called Indiana and be like, "Guys, I know you're winning. We want your guy." Yeah. No, I don't really know. Everybody's got an opinion about a coach that they like for whatever reason. Maybe you've seen that guy coach up a team more than you have another. I've mentioned I like Golish's time at USF. I can't guarantee you Golish would have come here and won. I don't know that. And I don't think they know that either. You have to have certain parameters that you want in place, some things that you believe in, and then see how these guys interview and hope you get it right. I mean, Florida's been trying to get it right for a long time. If they could have gotten it right, they would have already gotten it right.
15 years and 5
it's
head
a tough
coaches.
thing to do.
The Glenn from Florida in the chat has been throwing out some names he likes, and one that he mentions is my guy is Jason Eck from New Mexico. I love that dude. From watching the videos for Coach Speak,
right?
Man, that guy is awesome.
I like him too.
I don't know that Florida State or school like that will hire him because he doesn't look the part. But dude, he would be fun to cover. He kind of has a little bit of a Mike Leach vibe to him.
He does. Okay. Yeah, he's different.
And he's won at every level, just kind of like Signetti, man. He's been at smaller schools, but they've won. He goes to New Mexico, and the improvement they made from last year to this year, insane.
And it's cool when you watch that, and yet you would also admit he could come here and fail miserably. You have no idea.
And you'd be opening yourself up to all your rivals would laugh at you at the introductory press conference because he looks like Norm from Cheers. Like you would be like,
that
what?
makes me like him more.
Oh, he's
more relatable.
He's
more relatable.
Yeah, he seems it. It's funny because I do think that has changed. We talk about the perception of a program and what it is or is not and what's possible in a given year and how you have to kind of in the world in which you're going to be playing more difficult games because we're paring down the number of automatic wins that you can schedule with the expansion of conference games that you're playing. And then because everybody has money now to spend on a roster and we see the disbursement of talent, Indiana just won the national title. You do have to start looking at it differently. You can't look at coaches in the same way that you used to look at coaches, any of them. Because, would we be shocked? Shocked might not be the right word, but would we be surprised, all that surprised, if in 3 years Indiana's an average-ass football program?
No, not at all.
Right?
That's why I still laughed at that
contract. Coach.
I still laughed at that contract. Even I would laugh at it now. It's like, dude, seriously?
But you understood in a weird way
why they're doing it.
Yeah,
of course. Man alive. Again, because it can go wrong. And if it does, you're stuck.
Yeah, but you did. If
for sure,
in the short term it kept him from going to Penn State, it did get you a national championship.
But he wouldn't have gone mid-season.
He might have. Who knows? There are no rules anymore, Ira. There are no rules to this thing.
He wouldn't have. But the point
is,
he
wouldn't have. Would you think he'd have waited till right now to go to Penn State? We're almost in February.
I just don't think he would have left.
Schedule is crazy.
I think that's a Lane Kiffin thing. I don't think most coaches would.
I wouldn't think most. Yes, but who knows?
Well, the bottom line is, Indiana's never won anything in football.
It's worth it.
They were going to do it.
Yeah,
and I'm sure Mark stroked that check, so that's fine. But they do have a multi-billionaire that can do that. Florida State does not. But
they do.
Well,
Spanks.
I don't think she's cutting that check anytime soon. But my point is, we all think Signetti's great, rightfully.
Yeah.
What he's just done is unlike anything we've ever seen. But if they're average in 3 years, none of us are going to be like, oh, my God, Indiana's just average.
What happened in Indiana? They
went back to being Indiana. They went south a little bit, had a bad year.
They're just a top 23 program in the country instead of the best.
And listen, he's going to there's something he's going to experience here that he's never experienced before in the sense of from just evaluating players. Like, he's done an unbelievable job when he was at James Madison, obviously, and when he was at IUP and wherever else he's been.
Elon, buddy.
And I know he's at Alabama, so he's been around big-time college football. But now they're going to have kids and agents knocking down their door that are big-time recruits.
Yeah, you got to be discerning.
And now you have to decide
who's good
who
for
are
your
you going to
program.
say no to that maybe you didn't even have to worry about before.
I just think
more money, more problems.
I get it, but I just think that guy. I would be stunned if they're not still really good.
I think they will be very good. Yeah. But what my point is,
they're not going to be 16-0 every year,
well,
and that's a problem that he has never faced. Yeah. But I think he will handle it well.
He's also going to be the hunted.
Yeah, I just think he's going to handle it all well. I am. If he started a cult tomorrow, I'd be there with my scotch.
Yeah,
in my cigarette or cigar. I've never
the shirt a little bit.
I've never felt like this about a coach before. It's unbelievable.
Usually, when cult leaders are starting out there, they're not targeting you. Like it's
weird, right?
It's really
weird. They don't target the 50-year-old dudes. It's usually like a 25-year-old woman.
Imagine
it's weird how that works.
But the one thing I will also point out, he's 64. 3 or 4 years from now, when you're pushing 70, we'll see, man.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I mean, there are other
Thank
factors.
God this didn't happen 20 years ago. Indiana would be like Duke basketball. It'd be crazy how good Indiana was at football. Well, he'd be in the NFL probably.
What percentage would we give Malachi Marshall to be named QB1 coming out of spring?
0.
Well, he's not going to be here in the spring.
Won't be here.
That's the problem.
But coming out of summer, what would you give him?
Clint asked that question, so let's shame
10%?
10%.
I'd say 10%.
Now, what they are going to do, I will say this: Malachi Marshall did tell Matt or Nick, I think, was out there this weekend. He told those guys, the recruiting guys, that he's going to be back several times this spring, and he's going to visit. And he's going to, be doing Zooms. So I think they're going to give him information. Like it's not like he's going to show up in June and be like, "What's the playbook?"
Yeah,
they're going to give him all the information.
I would hope.
And it's, as Jeff pointed out rightly, it's not that complicated. Right. It's not that complex an offense. He could pick it up.
So yeah, it can happen. And we've seen Carson Beck wasn't there he didn't participate in spring football in Miami, and that's probably a more complicated offense.
Much more. But he's also
surgery.
He's 25 years old.
I got it. I'm just saying, I do think the way college football is going now, you can make it happen if you come in the summer. But yeah, I would say it's not likely.
He'd have to be. That would get me excited if that. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'd be like, man, so Sperry just sucks. Right. That'd be how I'd look at it. But it'd be something if a kid that was only here for a month had 3 weeks of practice as your starting quarterback.
Jason in Charlotte writes, I'm so happy Coral Gables didn't win. I'm concerned they're not going away anytime soon, though. In your opinion, what's the quickest way we get back? Well, we've talked some about that. Sorry, Jason. You've listened to the show today. You know, we've talked a little bit about that. You got to do a better job of evaluating. Got to hold the people to a standard. Mike's got to figure out who he is. There's a lot going on here. Nicholas says, gentlemen, do you think that keeping this coaching staff another year was due in part to the university's effort to build in and buy into the hospital facilities? Sure, partly.
I mean, so?
There might have been an element of it.
Maybe
it's ancillary. It's something on the side, like, hey,
is that for sure now? Is TMH?
I think there's still one more vote, but yeah, I think it's
this is like the Desir twins negotiations.
You can't invest emotionally, Corey. You can't invest emotionally. You just got to let it go. In pro sports transfers, has third-party money like NIL ever been a factor in player movement? If not, why not? We never hear about a pro sports superfan offering extra money or endorsements.
Isn't that something?
It's illegal.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Yeah, there are rules in place.
Yeah, it just don't. It's the most popular sport in the world with zero rules.
But there's an allegation that
Duke is suing Mensa.
No, I'm saying the NBA on the Clippers.
Oh yeah, for giving them a house or giving them a part of some company that didn't exist.
Did you listen to all that, by the way?
Not all of it.
I listened to it, and man, it's irrefutable. I mean,
yeah,
Pablo Torres got them 100%.
That was 3 months ago. What's happened?
It's crazy. Yay, Signetti can't help but think FSU is doomed without a benefactor. Don't you think? No, I don't think that, Amar.
And I do think we all think eventually college sports will get their heads out of their behinds.
You'd like to think.
And get this dialed in and reined in. I do think we all think that will happen eventually because when I say it's not sustainable, obviously the sport's still popular and they get a lot of viewers. It's hard. Fans are going to get real sick of this real quick.
I have posited as much. I will also say that I'm worried this will not happen until we get to the next television contract. There's some time,
but
man.
It will. I think it will happen. You're going to make them employees. They're going to collectively bargain something, and you don't have to keep asking your fans to pay for your coaches and your players. It's so stupid what we're doing right now.
Yeah, but the power lies in the hands of the conference commissioners, and they're not going to join forces the way the NFL did.
Wouldn't it be cool if they thought about the good of the sport? Wouldn't that be nice?
Right. And and you have to go back. Now, this is getting in the weeds a little bit, but part of the reasons that happened was because of, Wellington Mara and Rooney and those people understood that the better good for the NFL moving forward would be to merge, have a league that you then sold the rights to had the networks bid on this thing that was unified.
They also agreed
with the rules that were across the board.
They were also agreed that they were cool with it being competitive. There be competitive balance. That's been unbelievable for the NFL. It's not just the Cowboys and the Raiders playing every year, the Dolphins back in the 70s. Like, it's awesome that almost every team every year thinks they can get in the playoffs starting the season.
Well, there's overwhelming evidence that you can.
Yeah.
You get 4 to 5 new teams in the playoffs every year. One team repeated as a division champion this year. That was the Eagles, and they got bounced with the quickness.
It's crazy. So it's been great for the NFL, and hopefully the powers that be at college football, if they ever would think about the betterment of the sport and what's good for the sport and not what's good for their little corner of the sport.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out, but I do think this may be opening some eyes in the SEC that maybe it's in their best interest also. So
yeah, they don't like seeing Indiana beat their flagship school by 1,000,000 points. That was disheartening for them.
It was glorious, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was glorious. We've run out of Twitter questions for the most part here.
Did we have Facebook? Did you?
Of course we did.
I've done a bunch of Facebook questions, buddy.
What
time did that go up?
Well,
it wasn't that bad. It was after the game.
13 hours ago.
Yeah. It was after the game. I wanted to make sure. I didn't want it to be a sad show. I
like that Ira was checking.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't ever ask if the Twitter questions have gone up. And we've never not had Facebook questions. We haven't, except when I haven't been on the show, which is obviously the worst shows.
Panama Noel on Twitter wanted me to say "suck it, Miami, woo," but that is reserved for Clemson. My overriding disdain for Miami is omnipresent. I don't have to have inflection for that. He said, just wanted to hear Jeff say it.
What I was doing in my head was like, because it's been 12 years since Florida State won a national championship. It's been 25 now for Miami. Like, Auburn went 57 years without winning a national championship. LSU went from, I think, 59 to 07.
Michigan
probably.
Plus,
I mean, it's hard to win national championships. Texas went from. When was Texas's last national championship before 05? It was sometime in the 70s or 60s.
Well, that's what the folks in Oklahoma bring up all the time. They're like, man, you got this state talent rich beyond reason.
Yeah, and you've won one. They won one national championship in my lifetime. So the thought being, man, it's Miami They might be back there next year. Who knows? Or it might be another quarter century. It's hard. It's hard to go win a national championship in football.
I'm gonna go for it.
Seminole, who's a member of the YouTube channel, which you guys can do as well. You can become a member. And
there you go, Seminole.
He says, "Did you see the Signetti T-shirts last night? Looks like an old school Marlboro ad, classic cigs.
So classic.
It is good. Yeah, man.
I need one of those.
He's leaned into the whole, I need a cold beer after the game, and
smart.
Yeah,
he's cultivated an image, and I think it's probably 75% him and 25% lore.
There's some, massaging of
but
that.
there's no reason not to do it because people are going to gravitate towards it. I mean, what was he going into last night's game? 26-2. He's 27-2 now.
Yeah.
At Indiana with a national championship and a Big Ten title, and he beat
losses.
Ohio State to win the Big Ten title.
But it's little things like. This is where I do think it is a special group. This is where I disagree with Corey a little bit. I do feel like they have lightning in a bottle. Watching the defensive lineman, the guy that blocked the punt, putting his arm around Reese Davis or whatever during the interview, he's got a bunch of dudes who it's just
By the way, he was a James Madison transfer.
Yeah.
He's one of the last of the James Madison.
And I'm like, man, you nailed it, and it's awesome.
Well, they also got a Heisman Trophy winner in the portal.
For sure.
That doesn't happen a lot either.
No,
he didn't play that well last night.
No, he didn't. But I mean,
play,
he that's nice to have.
And the play he made was
it's a big one. It's a big one. Say goodbye, boys.
See you next time.
Peace out. Sorry, Canes. Sorry.
Yeah, you're heartbroken. Bonus hour with me and Tom coming up next. Stay with. Be well, everybody.